The World Cup takes place once every 4 years, and in just a few hours, the sporting extravaganza gets underway in Brazil. Over the next month, the top 32 football teams on the planet will battle it out to determine who will take home the famous golden trophy. We can expect lots of goals and lots of thrills, but is Brazil ready? We begin with CCTV's correspondent, Joel Richards. He joins us from Rio de Janeiro. And Joel, it's here, it's arrived. We're just hours away from kickoff. Is the country ready?
Well, Arnon, the fact that we're even having to ask this question, just as you said, hours ahead of kickoff, suggests that it isn't. The Brazil government, Dilma Rousseff, said in the last few hours, the Brazilian president said that Brazil is ready. And of course, the local organising committee and FIFA would want us to believe so, not least with the 11 billion investment in putting on what is going to be surely a great show. But the fact that we're still concerned about whether the stadium will be prepared, or indeed whether the infrastructure will be ready and whether fans will be able to make it to venues or not, suggests that there will be difficulties over the coming month.
Right, and Joel, fans have been streaming in from all over the world. What's the mood like on the street?
Well, it is gradually ramping up. There are groups of supporters starting to arrive, and certainly on the beach in Copacabana here in Rio, which is obviously the focal point for the city. Then there are groups starting to arrive. The Fan Fest is being set up, and that's where they'll have large screens and where many people who don't have tickets will go to the beach to watch games. So it is gradually getting going, but there is still real uncertainty just how this is all going to pan out, how it's going to play out over the coming month. So obviously, as I said, very slowly getting into gear for this tournament.
Right, and Joel, there have been protests, there have been strikes. Are there any concerns that the games could be disrupted?
Well, absolutely. Just in Sao Paulo, which hosts the first game on Thursday, Brazil against Croatia, there was a 5-day metro strike over pay rises, and they've been threatening to return to strike on Thursday, on the day clearly disrupting then the start of this tournament. So there is a fear there. In the last months or so, at times there have been 7 or 8 different strikes around the city and around the country going on. And even just on the way today to the studio, we were stopped in a demonstration with taxi drivers just blocking off one of the thoroughfares in Copacabana. So surely that's going to be a feature of this World Cup. Right,
Joel, and this is the biggest sporting event in the world. The world will be focused on Brazil. What about security concerns?
Well, that is one of the chief concerns, of course. It's a major issue. It's a major concern across the country. And really, for every one of us who's started to arrive in Brazil, the heavy police presence has really caught the attention. There's police absolutely everywhere, and we've even seen, just in certain instances, them taking a somewhat heavy-handed approach to trying to keep the peace. Since 2008, there's been this process of pacification, just to borrow the phrase from Portuguese, in the favelas, the shanty towns, as Brazil obviously tries to ensure that there are no complications when it comes to the next month.
Right, now Brazil is a big country, it's a huge country, and some of these games will be taking place in pretty remote locations. We've heard the city of Manaus being mentioned a number of times. I mean, is it going to be difficult for fans to get to these venues?
Well, absolutely, and the example of Manaus is perhaps the most eloquent. The first match that city will be hosting is England against Italy, two powerful sides with strong economies, with supporters who pay money and tend to travel, and that match has yet to be sold out. So the fact that you have a match with two big sides in a group phase, England against Italy, and that stadium has not been fully sold out, just with days remaining, really points to the difficulty for supporters who are hoping to travel to see their team. But there are other, it's not just Manaus, of course, but there are, with so many bases, so many stadia around the country, it is one of the chief concerns for people, and it's put many tourists off coming to Brazil for the World Cup.
Okay, Joe, I can't let you go without asking you, who's going to win this?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it, Arnon? Of course, Brazil are favourites, being the hosts, and with their tradition. Argentina have the world's greatest player with Leo Messi, and then there's the European side, Spain as the world champions, or Germany. No European side has ever won here in the tournament, so you're not going to get me down to say my favourite, but of course the World Cups always bring up surprises, and that's what makes it such good fun.